You were meant, ladies, to be pursued. God created you to be pursued. You like to be pursued. Men, you were created to pursue. Men like to find things. They like to go on adventures. Even back, before you had grocery stores and DoorDash. I don't know the last time I've actually gone to a grocery store, but before we ordered them to our door, even before then, we had to go out and find our food. We pursued our food. Men like to pursue, women like to be pursued. I can prove that women like to be pursued by one thing that they say a lot. If the man's in trouble for something, and he doesn't know most of the time what he's in trouble for, but he's in trouble for something, what's amazing is he'll say, just tell me what I did. And what does a woman say? Well, if I have to tell you, because she wants to be pursued. She wants you to think about it. Anyway, it's crazy. But anyway, that's just the way it is, okay? All right. So James, our son, was pursued as a young man by girls. He was pursued. It was just crazy. He would come home from school in junior high and high school. He would get in the back seat. We'd go to pay him from school, and he'd have 8 or 9 Christmas presents. And he'd just dump them in the back seat like that. And we'd say, where did you get these? And he'd say, girls. But he had no interest in girls at all in junior high and high school. He was interested in hunting, fishing, golf, sports, so which was great with us because it says not to awaken love before it's time. So he was totally interested in the outdoors. He had no interest, but they were interested in him. And we would go home and we'd open these presents and we'd say, James, this is an extremely nice shirt. Who gave this to you? And he would say, a girl. We'd say, yeah, but what was her name? And he'd say, I don't know. And I'd say, well, did she say anything when she gave it to you? And he said, I think she said Merry Christmas. And I'd say, well, so what did you say? He'd say, I didn't say anything. I'd say, well, you didn't even say thank you? He said, I didn't ask for it. But as he got older and as he was pursued, we realized there were a couple of girls that were really pursuing that weren't right for him. Good, fine young ladies, fine Christian young ladies, but we could tell their personalities weren't going to make it. They weren't going to make it at all for him, his personality, And so, and then all of a sudden, when he got around his early 20s, around 2021, 19, 2021, somewhere in there, the word marriage started being thrown out with one of these young ladies. And again, a fine young lady, but we just knew that's not the right person. And so we talked to him about it, and, he was so principled that he just said, okay, if you don't feel good about it, then it's okay, And I don't even know if I want to, but so I actually asked him to take a break for 40 days. But I said, because your emotions are so involved, you can't, just take a break for 40 days and just trust God. Like a fast, but y'all can eat, but just fast from each other. And that was on Tuesday, and on Saturday, she called him. And he didn't look at caller ID or anything. He just answered his phone and said, hello. And she said, hey. And he said, we're not supposed to be talking. And she said, what your father doesn't know won't hurt him. And James said, goodbye, and hung up. And so then he comes down and he says, so-and-so and I broke up. And I said, what do you mean? So he told me what happened. And I said, well, did you tell her you were breaking up with her? He said, I said goodbye. I said, it's actually going to take more words than that with a woman. Let me just let you know. She's going to need, anyway. So Debbie got this word from God. And so she said to me, James loves to hunt. He loves to pursue. And what we didn't know, when James was younger, he would hunt with me in the stand. As he got older, I'd let him hunt by himself. What I didn't know was I would drop him off at the stand, and as soon as I'd leave, he'd get out of the stand and he'd go hunt deer. And he would always come back with the biggest deer. And he would drag it back, hundreds of yards or half a mile through the woods so that I didn't know he'd got out in the stand and, went and got, but he loved to pursue. And so Debbie said to me, you need to explain to him how God made men. And so I told him, I said, God made you to pursue. And he made women to be pursued. And so these young ladies are pursuing you. And I said, listen to me. If one of them catches you, you will never treasure her because you got caught. And God did not create you to get caught. He created you to catch. And I said, you know how you do with deer? You see a trophy. Now, I know trophy wife has a bad connotation, so please, I'm not saying that. But I said, you need to see someone who is what you think you can't get and who's so gorgeous inside and outside that you think she's way out of your league. And then I said, you need to wash your car. Because you've just come back from hunting. And you need to get the blood out of the back seat from where you put the deer. And you need to take a shower after you come back from hunting. And I started teaching these things. And I said, you need to see a trophy that's out of your league, and you need to go for her. And it wasn't long after that till he met Bridget. And he began to pursue, and he began to clean up. And y'all remember I told you how much he saves. He saved. He had more money in savings than I did when he was a teenager. He's just crazy saver. He loved to save money. He hated to spend money. And when he met Bridget, we went on a family vacation. He bought her a Coach purse, a necklace from Tiffany's, and he was about to buy matching Movado watches. And I said to him, James, this is a lot of money. And he went like this, it does not matter how much it costs. And I turned to Debbie and I said, he's in love. Because James has never uttered those words in his life. It does not matter how much it costs. He is now in love. And they dated 3.5 months, got engaged, and got married 3.5 months later. And been married, how long? 14 years now. So I'm just telling you, I know I took a long time in that illustration, and I prayed about it and thought about it, but the reason was because I wanted you to understand that you did not pursue Jesus. Even when you think, yes, I did. Something came into me and I pursued God. Yes, I tell you what came in, the Holy Spirit. Because Jesus pursued you. You love him because he loves you.